Hey, welcome back, Founding Champions. Could Mill be a real thing and not just a control deck? We'll see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see real soon, come November 27, guys, or whatever that release date is. But take a look at the screen. Wraithstorm. It's another preview. This is preview video at number 10. Woo! It's a lot. But here we go. X, 2 and 2, Wraithstorm spell. Discard the top cards from your opponent's deck. Deal damage for each unit discarded in this way. I don't really even care about the second part of that effect. I don't care that we're dealing damage. Because the current Mill deck, and if you don't know what Mill is, in Magic the Gathering there was a card called Millstone. And basically it said your opponent discards cards from the top of their deck. And now, ever since then, we've been calling deck out decks Mill decks. And that's just spread amongst all the games, really. But here we go, Wraithstorm. It's going to do it twice. So they're going to lose 4 cards. Okay? That's 4 of the 30 off just one spell. And really, when you deck somebody out, you just need to have them deck out before you. And Def's already pretty good at that, but having them deck out even quicker, that's insane. That's insane in my opinion. And even that that Immortal Death deck can still win by damage. So doing damage at the very end is still pretty good. But it's a rare. It's a rare. This is going to see huge amounts of play. Now, it might not see competitive play, but it's going to see huge amounts of play. This card is going to get played very, very much. This card is going to be very expensive. It's a rare. Its value is going to be huge. People aren't going to be opening this set like they did the first set because it's so easy to get most of all the other cards. So there won't be that many Wraithstorms in circulation as comparative to the first set if it was in the first set. So this Wraithstorm is going to be huge. It's going to be worth a lot of money. It's going to see a lot of play. Everybody that's even close to wanting to play anything in Death, they're going to want to play the Mill deck at some point. They're going to want to play with this card. They're all going to want it. Everyone's going to want 3 of these, okay? This card is amazing, okay? It's amazing just thinking of the possibilities. Now, I don't say it's amazing in terms of competitive play, but it's amazing in the fact that we can have like a legitimate Mill deck. So if we play 3 of these in the course of a game, what's that? 2, 4, so 4, 8, 12 cards. That's over a third of their deck gone from one spell. I mean, I think that's pretty good, guys. So, again, Wraithstorm, it's making huge waves. It's just like I get it. We already kind of have the Mill deck. We just have the deck that doesn't die. You know, that was when I first made the deck and I put it online here. You can look back and see it. I made it a long time ago. I call it Death No Die because it just doesn't die. And well, I mean, milling them even quicker because sometimes it comes pretty close to the wire near the end of the game because they've eventually done all the damage their deck could ever possibly do. And well, you kill them a lot quicker if you're making them discard a lot of cards. So outstanding card, I think. It's huge. It's gonna be huge. You're gonna see a lot of these cards being played. A lot of people are gonna try and play with this card. To success or no success doesn't matter. They're gonna play with it. It's just how it is. They're just gonna play with it. This card's gonna be amazing for time to come. I mean, I couldn't tell you much more about this. I might not even sell any of these when it comes to selling singles. I think I'm just gonna hold on to them. I mean, if they hit a certain price point, then I'll unload. But this card's insane, guys. It's really good. It's really that good, and it's really that amazing. It's a rare. It should be a rare. We're starting to reverse the effect of seeing a bunch of bad rares a little bit. We did see a lot of bad rares. We can't really make up for those too much, but this card is going to help with that, and it's very, very, very good. Next up, we have Feeding Frenzy, another death card. It's an uncommon. Feeding Frenzy Ability Warrior can only be played by a Vampire Champion that has dealt damage this turn. Okay, so that Vampire Champion needs to have dealt damage. Doesn't need to deal damage with a Vampire, just that Champion needs to deal damage. You may search your deck for a Vampire unit and move it to your hand. If your deck was searched, shuffle it afterwards. I don't want to say it's a really good tutor. It's a tutor. It's a tutor for those Vampire cards. Now, Vampire cards are pretty versatile. We have the Vargeist that kills an opposing unit and then gains an additional action. We have a Vargeist that gains you 2 health and draws you 2 cards. We have a Vargeist that does a flat 5 damage, I mean 2, 2, then 1. So we have some really good vampires to pull out of our deck. It's just that this card suffers from just the law of diminishing returns. When you play one of these, you're not going to want to keep playing more of them. If you have multiples in your hand, it takes you a lot of time to sort of get through them all. So if you play this, you're probably playing just one of them. If you're playing at all, I mean, it is just an uncommon, so I wouldn't be surprised. It is very, very flavorful. I love the art, but it's not competitive in my opinion. I think if it's competitive, you see about maybe 1 or 2 copies at the absolute most. Until another vampire comes out that we have to pull. We have to pull from our deck. But until then, there's just kind of good vampires we're pulling from our deck. Not really any combo pieces or anything too far insane. But that is for Feeding Frenzy. And it does replace itself, which is good because you get to go through your deck and get that card. Next up, and lastly for this preview video, it's going to be probably one of the shortest preview videos that I put out so far. We got Ogroid Thaumaturge. Ogroid Thaumaturge. You gotta play a spell, removal, damage, then removal. Costs 5, which is very important. It's a wizard that costs 5 at -2 health. Champion Wizard. When this highlighted champion uses an ability, deal 2 damage to your opponent. So now it's your opponent's champion. So if your opponent is playing a sort of deck where they want to play a lot of abilities, I don't know, playing the Mordant Burn deck, I don't know. We've seen a lot of good cards at stopping Mordant Burn, so that deck might not really be too much of a thing moving forward. But Ogroid Thaumaturge, if or say we're against Gordrakk, we put him against the Gordrakk, and yeah, the Gordrakk's doing 2 extra damage to us, but we're also doing 2 damage to him. So when a highlighted champion uses an ability to do damage to your opponent, yeah. So or any ability heavy deck, they can be pretty sweet. Just play a spell and then remove a unit, and its own ability might just its own effect might rotate the damage, then another removal. I think it's 2 removals. 1 removal is not so bad anymore due to us having a lot more removal in the game, especially point removal. But having 2 of them is still a bit much. It's still a bit much. But though it costs 5, so it's huge. It's gonna be huge for Chaos. I love the art. I do love the effect. It's very in line with the models game. And let's pull this up. Ogroid. There he is. There's the Ogroid Thaumaturge. Boop. Let me see him. Look at that. I like the model. The model is amazing. It's a pretty big model too. I think it's on a 50 mil base. It's about this big. Here we go. Let's pull up the effect. Since we got a little extra time, let's make that a lot bigger for us all here. It's a Tzeentch Arcanite Fire Blast, so it does damage, does quite a bit of damage. It heals itself. When it charges at your opponent, it does D3 more wounds. When this model suffers 5 more wounds, add 1 to its hit rolls, so it then is able to do damage more reliably if it's taking damage. And it does quite a bit amount of, Great Horns, 3s and 3 -2 for 3 damage. Really good, really good. Yeah. So there is the Ogroid Thaumaturge. It does feel like an Ogroid. I feel like I could just put the model on top of this card, while I'm playing the game, and it's like it really feels so outstanding. A++++, 100% on the lore and feel of this card. And in terms of competitiveness, I say mildly competitive. I think you see a little bit. You're not going to see it too much. I think you're going to see a little bit. Even in a competitive tier 2 or about maybe tier 1 decks. Just because it does cost 5 and it is a wizard in Chaos. So guys, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you have an outstanding rest of your day. And after this, go outside. Enjoy the sun a little bit. It's winter time. It's not too hot outside. All right. Have an outstanding day.